Hi everybody, my name is Neil Crisp. I work with Matt. Matt's asked me to put together a video on tracking your various affiliate links, and so you can track your sales, your conversions, and the effectiveness of the clicks that you get on your ads. So let's just get into it. The thing with tracking is that it's important to watch your numbers. Okay, the biggest thing is being able to keep track of which campaigns that you set up are effective and which ones are not. And that's what it's all about. And some of you might say, I'm not a numbers person. Well, the reality is that either you need to develop an interest in that or delegate that to somebody else who can do that for you. But it's very important just to keep track of, again, which campaigns are effective and which ones are not. And the only way you can do that is to track how many clicks you get on your ads, how many people are opting in on your landing pages, and how many people are registering for events or purchasing products. And you need to be able to keep track of all of that so you can refine the process and maximize your profits. And Matt will tell you that his own success in growing his company quite substantially has been largely attributed to his obsession with numbers and just wanting to beat his previous month's numbers. And so he tracks all the time. Okay, tracking, how to do it properly and why it's 100% absolutely crucial. Okay, the first thing is multiple streams of leads. As you develop your online marketing business, you're going to have numerous lead sources and streams, various landing pages and ads and everything of this nature, and you need to be able to keep track of them, again, to see which ones are effective and which ones are not. And here's the rule: every time you set up a new lead source, you always create a tracking link. So any kind of campaign that you set up, you need to have tracking links in them. There's a great analogy to how this works, and it's starve the ponies and feed the stallions. And this applies to the various streams of leads that you have. Some of them are going to be ponies. In other words, they're not going to be effective, and people are not going to respond to them as well. Okay, and if you track that effectively, you'll see that they're not effective. And then you'll have your campaigns that are generating a lot of leads and sales. And those are the ones that you want to feed with more money, putting into your ads and bringing more people in so that you're getting more profit. Now I want to show you some ways that you can track your links and see their effectiveness. Alright guys, I just want to show you some ways that you can track your links to keep track of the effectiveness of your campaigns. And the first thing I want to do is introduce you to HyperTracker, and this is found at hypertracker.com. This is a paid service. It's about $20 a month and is very accurate and a great tool. So I've set up an account here, and this is the page that you'll come to when you log in. So what we'll want to do is we'll want to go to campaigns, and you'll see I set up some test campaigns here, but we'll create a new campaign. Okay, you'll give it an ID. Call this the same thing, campaign name, campaign description. Let's just say that this is from a Facebook ad. Okay, actually we'll say where it's going to let's say it's Home Business Summit. Okay, now the group name is pretty important. This is basically what you want to label as the, I guess, the traffic source that it's coming from. So this could be like a solo ad or a Craigslist ad, something like that. In this case, we'll put Facebook again. The campaign password, I don't really see much of a use for this. I'm sure this is kind of a newer feature, as you can see here. I won't get into that. The campaign cost, I'm going to keep it at 0 for now. This could be, $100 if it was a solo ad maybe, or $1 for a pay-per-click, something like that. And from the research I've done on HyperTracker, the count clicks is pretty important to keep at once per session. And evidently that affects the accuracy quite a bit. So you want to remember that. And then you have enter target URL, and here you can put any number of URLs and it'll rotate them for you. So I'll just put Google for demonstration purposes and Yahoo. Okay, so you have these two URLs in there. It's going to rotate between those two. Okay, so we'll create a new campaign, and what it does is it creates this link for you. Okay, and this is what you're going to copy and you're going to put in your Facebook ad as the link that people will click to, and it'll track it for you. Okay, and you can use other services, like in WordPress there's a plugin called Pretty Links that you can use to disguise this link more, make it look better. You can certainly do that. So anyways, it creates that link so you'll be able to track the actual clicks that you've gotten on your ad or wherever you've placed that link. Okay, and when you've done so, you'll see we have campaign 2 here. It gives you these statistics. Okay, it has clicks, and obviously we don't have any clicks here yet. We haven't placed it anywhere, but some of these other test campaigns that I put in there, you can see that there's clicks. Okay, so that's how you track your clicks. Now there's another component to this, and it's actions and sales. Okay, so you have an opt-in page. Okay, so we're already tracking the clicks from your Facebook ad. Now your Facebook ad is directed to an opt-in page. Okay, so here we'll name the product. This is an opt-in. This is opt-in from Facebook ad. Okay, product value, we'll just put 0 for there. It also gives you an option for duplicate protection, so we'll enable that. So if somebody opts in more than one time, they'll only be counted one time, so your stats are more accurate. Okay, so this is for your opt-in page. So what you do now is you'll click to get the HTML code, which is right here. Copy that, and where you put this is actually on your opt-in page. So here's WordPress, and I've just set up a blank page here. We'll call this opt-in, and what you want to do is you want to go to the body of the page where you would type in your copy and stuff, and you'd go to the text tab. Okay, so you're going to type your content in here, and somewhere on the page you're going to paste that code. Okay, and what that does when you update it is anytime somebody opts in or reaches the opt-in page, you're going to get statistics that show that. Okay, so we come back over here and you'll see actions here, and this test campaign here has 2, so 2 people clicked over to that opt-in page. Okay, now the last thing I'm going to show you here is similar. Let's see, we'll go back to integration here, and this is for sales of products, and this works essentially the same way as actions, except you're going to put this on the, let's say it's the download page for the product that somebody purchased, or something like that. Okay, so basically, so you know that when somebody made a purchase of a product, you'll get statistics for that. Okay. So we have product purchase, product from Facebook ad. Let's give it a value, 15. We'll enable the duplicate protection. We'll show HTML, and again, it's just like the action component. You're gonna copy and paste this into, instead of the opt-in page, this would be like the purchase page, or the receipt page, whatever page after somebody's made a purchase, page that they're redirected to. So you paste that in there again, and that's about it, and it tracks it. So again, you come back to campaigns, and you'll see sales, okay, the sales category, and you can click on these stats here and get more detailed information. And this is HyperTracker, and I would encourage you all to look into it more, see if it's something that would fit your needs. It's definitely a tool that's really essential in this business, obviously, but I'm going to show you some alternatives to HyperTracker, so we'll get into that next. Alright, moving on from HyperTracker, I want to show you an alternative. This one's called Quality Click Control, and this is a great service. It's a little bit different than HyperTracker in the sense that this is actually a program that you install on your website and track your links from there. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and log in. Okay, and you can see there's some campaigns here and some options up top, but I'm going to show you the real important stuff, and that is to create a new campaign. We'll give it a name. It asks for cookie expiration days. Now, this doesn't apply to every campaign type, but it works for this spillover campaign. And what that is basically it puts a cookie on the system of the person that clicks on the link for this number of days. Okay, and I'll get into that into some more detail. We'll keep it at 0. And then here it says do not log stats from click that came from, and here I'm going to put spam. Okay, now basically what that is, it has some complexity to it. It basically, it looks at IP domains, from what I understand, or IP host domains, and sometimes these will crawl and go through these links, and they'll have spam associated to them. So basically, kind of helps keep your data accurate. And basically just records when people are actually clicking on your links or opting into your campaigns. Okay, next thing are different campaign types, okay, and they're listed here. First is click track only. Click tracker only. And it does exactly what it says. This just tracks clicks. Okay, so if you have an ad, it provides you the link, people click on it, and it records it. Okay. Now spillover, I talked about this a little bit. This is the one that puts a cookie on the system of the person who clicks on the link. Now what you can do here is, in this campaign, you can have a number of URLs that are targeted to the same link. Okay, and when it's cookied on somebody's system for X number of days, every time that they click on that link, it's going to take them to any URL that you have set up in that campaign, and it's going to rotate through them. Okay. The next one, fulfillment. Okay, no cookies used, and all rotator clicks go to the top position in the rotator until the max unique clicks are met. Okay, so this rotates as well, but it has it has to be fulfilled. So whatever URL is associated with the link, it has to meet a fulfillment amount. So you might have 10 in there. So that one URL for a specific link in that campaign is going to be clicked on 10 times, and then it will rotate to the next URL that's listed in that campaign. Okay? Random randomly selects links within your rotator in no specific order. So it does exactly what it says. It just randomly rotates. Somebody clicks on it. They could go to any URL that you have set up in that campaign. Now the last one is pretty cool. This one's evenly distributes clicks amongst the links placed in your rotator, and this is mainly used for split testing. I think it can also be used effectively with co-ops. If you have a link set up for this campaign, you can have a number of different URLs that are tied to that link, and it'll rotate between them evenly. So if you have like a co-op, for example, you put in different people's URLs in association with the link, it's going to evenly distribute clicks to those URLs. So that's pretty cool. Okay, so we'll go ahead and create that. Okay, now it brings this up. If you need to, you can re-edit the campaign, but we're going to click on links. Okay, so you get a greater understanding of this. Okay, and you can select the campaign. It's on campaign 1. Okay, and we're going to add a new link. Okay, and like I mentioned before, you can have a number of URL links within this campaign. Okay, so, and it'll ask you in what order you want to put them in. This is the only one we have so far, so obviously keep it to the top. Okay, and for demonstration purposes, again, I'm just going to put google.com. Okay, expected clicks. This is just exactly what it says. It's expected. It doesn't actually put a cap on the amount of clicks that you have. It just, you know, says how many you expect. So if you have a solo ad or something like that, maybe in your note you'd put solo ad 500 clicks, something along those lines. Detailed description, link from solo ads, and you can show the advanced options. And this is kind of a unique thing to quality click control, is it'll create a URL alias name. So you'll remember with HyperTracker, it gives you a link, but it's not very pretty, so to speak. And a lot of people, when they use HyperTracker, they'll use like pretty links or some other method of actually changing the link itself, or the way it's presented. In this case, it looks pretty clean already. So it has the domain that you have the program installed on. In this case, it's preparetothrive.com /track/campaign1. That's our campaign. And then after that, we'll do solo ad, just to designate that. Allowed countries. Okay, this will basically allow the link to be clicked from specific countries. Okay, and you can be as specific as you want. In this case, I'm just going to leave it blank. So in other words, when you leave it blank, anybody can click on it. Okay. It also has a redirect URL. This is just a redirect that you put in there. If you had a country that you did not want to allow to click on the link for whatever reason, you could redirect them to some other page. So you could, we'll make it yahoo.com. Okay, and this is where you add multiple URLs. Okay, and it's one per line. This is like HyperTracker as well, and you just put all the URLs that you want the links to go to. Okay. In this particular case, we only have the one URL, google.com, and we'll just leave it at that. Okay. So we'll save that. Okay. So just like HyperTracker, it gives you your link. You can copy and paste that into your ad somewhere, and it gives you your stats right here. So you'll have raw stats of clicks and unique clicks in the stats. So it gives you the total, today's stats, and it also down here has opt-ins and sales, and I'll get into that here in a second. So that's how that works, setting up your clicks. There's some other tabs here. You can edit your profile. That's pretty self-explanatory. You can delete links from your archive that you don't want to have in there. It also gives you statistics. Okay, so it shows you where links are coming from. Okay, now this next tab here, conversions, this is really what I think makes quality click control really cool. Okay, is you'll remember on the HyperTracker you have the integration tab, and it gives you the code to paste into your opt-in or thank you page, or in your purchase page after somebody's bought a product, to keep track of those. You can do the same thing here as well. It gives you the opt-in tracking and the sales. Okay, so we'll do the opt-in tracking. Click continue, and it gives you this code. Okay, so since this is an opt-in, if you came over back into WordPress and you had an opt-in page, click on the text side and do exactly what you did with the HyperTracker, and you just paste the code in there, and it'll keep track of your opt-ins. Okay, and it does the same thing for your sales tracking. Okay, so you can put the product name, let's say product 1, the product amount is $20. Hit continue, and again it gives you the code. Okay, so let's say this was after a purchase. You'd come in, paste it there, just like the opt-in essentially, but it'll track the purchases and the amounts. So when you go to your statistics, if you have a place where you have sales, it'll track that for you. Okay, so anyways, that's a brief overview of quality click control, and very powerful tool. So these are just a couple options that you have. There's probably some other ones out there, but just do your best to keep track of all your clicks and all your actions, so that you know which of your campaigns are effective and which ones are not doing so well, so you can let those ones go and focus on the ones that are going to actually make you money. And that's all for today, and wish you all the best. Thank you.